Hi and welcome to the channel where we are storytelling and role-playing in Crusader Kings 3. This is my Iberian Struggle series where we are the head of House Barcelona. We are independent Duke of Barcelona here, and our overarching goal in this series is to achieve the détente ending of the Iberian Struggle. We are currently in the hostility phase. This will eventually become the compromise phase, and when it does, we will have to try to reach conciliation instead of hostility, and from there go to the détente ending. But that is far in the future, especially since this is a role-playing and a storytelling let's play, which means that I'm not going about achieving my goals or playing the game as effectively or optimally as possible, but rather taking my character's traits and his personality and the story I'm building into consideration when I'm achieving my goals. But for Duke Joffrey here, his father, he tried to befriend all of Iberia, try to make everyone friends and allies, and he really failed with this. So my current Duke here, this 36-year-old one-legged and gout-ridden man, he sees that he needs a stronger position in Iberia than that of his father if he's gonna try to make the people around him see that peace and cooperation is the right way forward for the Iberian Peninsula. And how to become stronger? Well, by conquering stuff. A couple of episodes back we conquered these lands here from Al-Sark, and got the shore duchy of Barcelona and a little bit more. And now it's time to expand even further, because at some point we want to create the Kingdom of Aragon. Having a kingdom title is a requirement to achieve the ending we are striving for, so that is something we should do anyway. And our border here is really good for this CB that was introduced with this Fate of Iberia pack. It's the Struggle Clash CB, where you can claim all the bordering counties, and we now have a lot of bordering counties towards Al-Sark. Our truce has just ended, so we will go about and declare this war. Their military strength is, including their allies and my allies, similar. We have one ally who is the same, and it's the Emir of Portugal. In the last war he sided with Al-Sark, and I expect him to do the same this time. However, we are allied to the Sultan of Al-Andalus, and he will be a very strong ally in this war, I hope. So let's go and declare this struggle clash, and as you can see, if we win we will expand our borders significantly here. There we go. My ally wasn't actually the Sultan of Al-Andalus. It is this, it's a relative of his, he's the Emir of, it says of Al-Andalus, but that is just his family name. He is actually the Sheikh of Iberia, but still he's a decent ally. I will call on him. And I will also, look here, Portugal, he will not join me in this. He will join my enemy Al-Sark here. That's alright. I think we can win anyway. I wouldn't have declared this war if I didn't think this. Here is my army raised. I wonder, yes, I am a siege commander myself, which means I should lead the siege. And let's go down there and start sieging. Yeah, Portugal, as predicted, joined Al-Sark, and my ally, the Sheikh of Iberia here, joined on my side. And here's this event, Strategical Impasse. It is one of my vassals, one of the vassals I got when in the last war against Al-Sark, and he hates me because he's of a different faith and different culture, but he is arguing with another vassal who is also like him. Both of these vassals are vassals I got when I conquered land from Al-Sark last time, and now they are arguing about strategy. I can side with Count Silhan, it's the man in green, and I can get improved pillaging, which will give me better siege phase time. Or I could use Count Roll's plan, which will increase my movement speed. Both of these options are very appealing. Movement speed is really good to have, because sometimes you need to catch an enemy before they can get into a defensive position, and sometimes you need to get away. However, there's always a lot of sieging in these wars, but I think I prefer movement speed. And also, when it comes to the vassals, this one hates me slightly less. He's humble, calm and shy, this Count Rasul of the house Mugitid, whereas this Count Siran of House Aidid is zealous, brave and gluttonous. So I don't think Joffrey here, he doesn't prefer one over the other really, but maybe slightly Count Rasul here. He seems like a person who's easier to get along with than this man here, especially since he's zealous and of a different faith than us. I can also take the option my commanders can act as they see fit. Yeah, maybe I should go take this, since I was hesitant. This can be... no, I would go with Count Rasul's plan. Better movement speed. Here comes the enemy now. And here is a child born to my cousin and his wife. It is a boy called Rikulf. The enemy is probably going to try and siege down some of my lands. And I got a perk for my martial lifestyle tree. I could go with Gallant here. It is a great trait. Yeah, let's get Gallant. He will be a chivalrous man. My cousin, who was in a faction against me, has disbanded his faction. That is great. And it is this cousin here I am swaying. I can stay at his castle in the middle of a war. Doesn't seem like the best time to stay in his castle, but still I will try to improve his opinion on me by staying for a while and see if I can help him with some unfinished projects. Here comes my ally now, and I am at my cousin's castle, and I can try to help him with the dining hall, the library or his chest of gold. I have the best chance to succeed if I help him with his library first. So let's go for this one. I will try to clean up his library. And I succeeded in this. So now I can proceed to help him. Try to help him with his chest of gold here. It's the chance of success is... Oh, the dining hall has a slightly higher chance of success, so I will go for this. And I managed to clean up his dining hall as well. Good job, Duke Joffrey. Now he likes me much better. I think he should like me much better. But I will still try to help him with his chest of gold as well. And here, looks like my ally attached to me, which is good. And I won this siege. So let's go and see if we can catch him sieging Sobralbe there, because if we can catch him in the mountains, we will have the defensive advantage and we will probably win this engagement. If we can catch him there. I managed to explain to him that he shouldn't have his chest of gold out in the open without him being suspicious of me plotting to steal his gold. And now it's time for bed. I will spend the night at my cousin's. But here comes Portugal, and they have a really strong force here, so that is not good. We should try to stay in our lands, I think, so that he will not catch us here. So Count Berenguer now says about me, he is great, the castle is like new. I'm glad I was able to help, and he gained 20 opinion of me for this. And I am still trying to sway him. I can spend some prestige to make him like me better, or gain prestige. What's my personality? Well, I'm not humble. Had I been humble, I would have gone with the question is, who is the most elegant person you have heard of? Had I been humble, I would have gone with Count Berenguer, but now I think we'll gain 75 prestige and sell. Well, me of course. Oh, my lover, Cecilia. I met her on a hunt, and she has now given birth to a son. And she's keeping quiet of this, so no one will know that this boy is my bastard. And I will not announce this to the world either. So they have a significant force here. I didn't think they would outnumber us by this much. But still, I think we might be able to win this engagement if my ally joins in. And I also have this Count Dan, my Viking, marshal, vassal and knight, who is a great commander and is a rough terrain expert, which will give me an advantage in the mountains. So let's go for this and hope that my ally follows, because if he follows we will still be outnumbered, but I think that the other advantages we will get here will be enough for a win, because they will reinforce with these 1,500 men. And if he follows, I still think we can win this. But if he doesn't follow, if he's just standing here, we will lose. So let's lower the speed and take a look at this battle here. Yes, my ally is coming, and it looks like Portugal is standing still. No, Portugal is coming as well. So it's gonna be a big fight here. We got the upper hand at the start, which is important. The longer we can... Yeah, I think we managed to... It is even. But I think us catching them by surprise there and winning the first two phases before Portugal arrived was the deciding factor in us winning this. So, and it also, yes, we won the battle. So this also tells me that it was a good decision to take this movement speed in the event we had before, because that bought us a little bit more time to take the Alsarc forces by surprise, so that we could, so that we had the advantage when Portugal arrived. Great win. So now they will retreat, and hopefully we can try to siege down a Fraga here in the meantime. And they are retreating in different directions, which is great, because then they will have to... maybe we can catch them before they have a chance to. Here is some event sprouting interest. Maybe this... I don't recognize this, so maybe this is a new event with friends and foes. Flavour pack DLC. A merchant has sent me samples of seeds. Plants he claims are good for health and mind. I must admit I have little experience in nurturing plants. But how hard could it be? I can become a herbalist, or I can get some learning, or I can fail and the seeds refuse to grow, or I can just get 20 gold. But now I will look into seeing it, maybe because he's also gout-ridden and one-legged, so maybe this is a reason for him to be interested in herbs and such. Maybe he can find something that suits his pain. I will use these to start a private garden. I didn't become a herbalist, but I gained some learning. And now it looks like this Sheikh here, he's of this house Banu Musa. In the last episode we became rivals with this house. Now he has declared war on Al-Sark. So he is gonna try to snatch these lands on the border here as well. That is both. It is good because it means that Al-Sark will have more trouble, but it's also can be bad because we might inherit this war if we win and take these lands. But we can only see what happens. These forces here, I believe, are from Navarra, and they are gonna try to siege up here. I think I will try to finish this siege before and then turn south to see if I can deal with Al-Sark's army down here, because I'm almost... my progress, my siege progress here is almost at a half, so it wouldn't be a good call to abandon the siege now when we have come this far in breaking down the walls here. Yeah, we won this siege, and I captured some this sheikh here. He's the one holding this land, so it might be good to keep him imprisoned, because he will be, if I win the war, he will be my vassal, and maybe I can use the fact that I have him imprisoned to do some stuff with it when and if we win. So now let's go and see if we can relieve this siege here in Castello. I hope my ally is following. Yes, he is. This Sheikh of Iberia is a good ally. He has been a great help here. And here I am trying to sway my vassal and cousin again, to make my cousin Count Berenguer more susceptible to my attempts at approaching him. I can include a compliment in my next missive to his court. I will be sure to mention his youthful vigor, or I will keep it short and professional. How is Count Gunnar involved in this? He's my chancellor, so maybe he's advising me to do this, because why is he down here? He's not mentioned here. So how would Count Berenguer feel about me mentioning his youthful vigor? He is kind of young compared to me, and he is also, his sexual orientation is homosexual. I don't know if that will weigh in here, but it might suggest that he would be flattered by a man complimenting his youthful vigor. I don't know. Let's try it. And we caught the enemy here, and we won. And here's Count Berenguer. He says, our recent correspondence has been a source of joy for me. I cannot help but think that we might both benefit from increased communication. Excellent, so he now likes me a lot. He didn't like me at all. And now I captured I captured the Emir of Zaragoza here. He has a lot of lands, but he won't be my vassal when I conquer here, because he's the Emir of these lands and he holds lands here. So if he holds any of the bordering counties, they will just go to me, I believe. So maybe we should ransom him, because he's not an amazing commander and he's not an amazing fighter. So there's no reason to fear him if we ransom him. Here he is, the Emir of Zaragoza. Yeah, he's worth 100. That's a lot of money for us. I will take it. And here's a girl of House Mugetid. Oh, here it is, my nephew. I remember that I had some relatives here, because he is the son of my sister. Yeah, because my father married my sister away to the Emir of Zaragoza. So this Sheikh Jamil ibn Muhammad of Afraga is actually my nephew. And he holds these the bordering counties here, so he would probably be my vassal if I win. So maybe I should keep him in prison. But yeah, that's good. And that this would be his daughter as well. She could also be useful for getting hooks on him and such that I might need. And I also I've got 2 of his children. They will come in handy if I win the war, and I could use them to maybe make him convert to my religion, or in some way make him like me better. Here is another prisoner. He is nothing special. He's a peasant leader. I don't know remember why we hold him. He's probably a prisoner of some war. And here is another prisoner who is a nobody. And then there's this Radulf. He was my bishop, I think, whom I imprisoned for trying to defraud me. And then there's this Roderick. He is also a nobody. He's worth no money, so he will just have to stay in prison for now. Here comes Portugal, and I just defeated Al-Sark here, so maybe I can try and see if I can catch Portugal wherever they're going, the Portugal fools, because if I can continue beating them without them getting the chance to combine their forces, this would be a sure way to win this. Yeah, I caught them there, and I am beating them. My knight Count Dan wounded someone, and here comes Al-Sark coming back here. See if we can catch him as well. Let's go and beat him there. There's no, that's my ally. Stupid of me. That is my ally there. My alliance with Portugal ended, but no matter, because he is an enemy in this war anyway. And here is an event with my son and heir, Joffrey, and my sister Elvira. She's my court tutor. Today my son Joffrey was taught a lesson in vassal management by Elvira. It was quite a complicated course, necessary, but perhaps a bit beyond Joffrey's grasp. I must let things take their time, Joffrey says. Only by being patient and letting my subjects work at their own pace may I rule wisely. Joffrey seems unaware that some subjects would willfully waste his time, says I, so I can make him keep the trait patient. Patient is a good trait, or I can make him forgiving, or I can make him trusting. No, I think that to start with patient is a better, objectively better trait than forgiving and trusting. And also, even though he is not patient, there's nothing in his personality to suggest that he wouldn't want his son to be. Patience will serve you well, child, I would say. My cousin, Prince Charles of West Francia, was slain in battle. I remember he was. Here's Senanda. She was married to King Louis the Stammerer. So my cousin here, the Prince of West Francia, has died. We haven't had too much to do with this part of the family for a long time. So now we won another siege here, but we still need more war score. And here are these Navarra forces also sieging. Maybe I should go and see if I can siege this. And these are some Al-Sark is having more problems because now he's also in a war with this Mala, this Prince Yahya ibn Mundir. He's the Sheikh of Malagon here. It's a part of Andalus, so a vassal of Andalus is trying to take advantage of Al-Sark's situation, then them being at war with me and Navarra and trying to increase his territory here. I don't think this will affect us too much. Maybe this could be an advantage. Here's a camp dispute. This is my knight, Nicolaus. He is not really the best knight. And here is my vassal, Count Rasul. After my army sets up camp, I hear a commotion coming from my knight's lodgings. Investigating the disturbance, I find Nicolaus and Count Rasul in the middle of a heated argument, while several onlookers edge them on. So I can deliver a speech about unity to the crowd. I will only have a 39% chance of making a good impression doing this. Or I can have them whipped, but that would definitely be against my compassionate personality, which is also what the game says here, and I agree. Or I can spend prestige by saying, sod this, I'm going off to my tent and stuffing my ears. Well, I will try to deliver this speech. I will probably fail, but the least I can do is try. We are at war here. We need to be united. Resolution. I get up and deliver a speech about how we are all fighting for the Duchy of Barcelona and how we must stand united against our foes. For if we don't, there are many outsiders who would take advantage of our internal squabbles and seize our lands and impose their rule on us. Looking abashed, Nicolaus and Count Rasul apologize and get ready to settle in for the night. So I did. I succeeded in making them see that we need to be united in times of war. It was great. I got prestige and they like me better, and I also got some lifestyle experience. It was a good outcome. I think I will see if I can siege these lands that Navarra has already sieged here, because if we inherit this war, I would like to have these mountains here under my control, because it will be a good defensive position. I'm not sure if we will inherit the war or not. We are now hostile to Navarra because they are trying to claim the same lands as we are. So, but I can only wait and see if they will continue the war once we have won it. And here is some romance, a declaration of love. It's from my wife. I am not trying to romance her, so maybe she has a scheme to romance me. That is flattering, because I, the player, have always liked Aldara here. And that is mostly a compliment to the people at Paradox making these portraits, because I think they are quite simple and cartoonish, but they really bring the characters to life and make you, at least make me feel something for them. So Aldara, she's one of them. When I take a look at her, I instantly like her. Probably shouldn't go too much into this, because because I'm not one of those people who like cartoonish women too much. But it also goes the other way, because you can see characters who instantly hate. I had one of those in my House called Norse Let's Play. Let's see if... I'm not sure if this character is still... Yeah, it's this one. Here he is, King Salomon. I think his portrait is the same. He's the starting ruler in Brittany when you start the game in 866 or whatever starting date is. And when I was playing my Norse Vikings and were down here raiding, and I took one look at this man, I instantly felt I hate him. Again, it's a compliment to the people making these cartoony avatars, or whatever you want to call them, come to life and feel like real persons. King Salomon here, his face really rubs me the wrong way, whereas Duchess Aldara here, her look rubs me the right way, so to speak. So I've always had, I always liked her, but that being said, she and the Duke here, they have never had a loving relationship. This was a political marriage for an alliance between Asturias, the then Kingdom of Asturias, and Barcelona. But now maybe she's trying to romance me, and maybe this can be something that will be a part of our story going forward. Let's read this declaration of love event. I am walking the gardens with some of the lords at court when I notice my wife, Duchess Aldara, approaching. I step aside to let her pass, but to my great surprise, she blocks my path and kneels before me. Before I have time to properly process this turn of events, Duchess Aldara begins to sing. To my great dismay, the woman before me cannot carry a tune to save her life. It takes a while before I am able to identify the song. It's a famous Catalan love ballad. She has altered the lyrics to include my name and mentions of my physical appearance, ruining the rhythm even further. I remember this event. I think my father had this, and I think I I tried to reenact what the singing might sound like. Should I do this again? I think I did something like, close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Or is this burning an eternal flame? Something like that. I think. Judging by the description, that something like I did is with a female voice is what Aldara here is doing. I will go with, even though the singing isn't the best, I will go with "You flatter me, my lady." He has this lover, Cecilia, that's nothing saying that he wouldn't, that this one-legged and gout-ridden man wouldn't be flattered when his wife comes declaring love for him. And here I am having a drinking companion. It is my cousin, Count Miro. I am drinking alone in the tavern when I suddenly see my cousin Count Miro sit down across from me. I quickly make my way over and we spend the rest of the night drinking together. He really knows how to have a good time. I lost some stress and I became friends with my cousin and spy master, and this is great because it is great to have your spy master like you. They will not try to murder you if they are your friend. At least I hope they won't. And also, we can keep building on this relationship in House de Barcelona in the story, because my cousin's father here was my father's spy master and his best friend. So this is good. I've had some good events in this session, and now let's see if we can siege down Alto Aragon here from Navarra. And here is this is this Italian man who is married to my niece Ledgarda, and they had a child whom they have named after the mother, Ledgarda. She is comely girl, may you grow strong and wise. Yeah, so I won this siege here as well, which means that I now have the war score needed, win this war, and why wait, I will enforce my demands. Great. I took a lot of territory here, vassalized some people, so be it. Look, this increased our borders significantly here. Stamped my armies down to start with, and I got some holdings on my own, which is good, because then I can give them away to vassals who might like me better than these counts here. Here's my nephew. So we have reunited the family in a way, because my nephew here now, he holds these lands, and I have him prisoner. So I could keep him in prison to ensure that he stays, that he is not gonna cause me trouble. Or I can demand his conversion and gain a weak hook to release him. And since I am a compassionate man, and this cousin here, or nephew rather, he has really done me no wrong. He wasn't my enemy. He's my sister's son, and my sister is still alive, Cecilia, and she would make a case that I would be merciful towards her son. So I think I will demand that he converts, which will make him a better vassal, and he will owe me a favor if I release him. Sounds good. But I still have 3 holdings more than I can manage by myself. One of them is a bishopric here and a county. So let's start with the bishopric. What happens if where's this bishopric? Can I just raise local ruler here? I should there should be some interface here to just make... No, this is the wrong bishopric. It's this one. No? Where is this interface? Isn't this the interface where you can just click to raise some local man to... Oh, here it is. As I remember that it was here. I can grant it to title to a noble of the local culture and the Mozarabic faith, or a noble of my culture and the Mozarabic faith. What is there anything in this? Grant one of your counties to a local noble of an involved culture. So I really don't know if it is better. I think a noble of the local culture will get better results from the holding, but have slightly lower opinion of me, whereas the opposite will be true if I take someone from my culture. So let's have an Andalusian of my faith here then. It was this Bishop Musa. Now he holds this, and I'm still 2 holdings above the main limit, so I will give this usually better to hold on the coastal holdings. What's the shore? This is part of Salacusta here, and I already gave this man here, Count Dan, land in Salacusta, so maybe I should grant him this as well. But then again, he wasn't that too grateful when I made him the count of this land. He started a faction against me. I think he has since then abandoned this faction. But he started a faction against me and he refused to convert to my faith. So maybe it is... maybe someone else is better deserving of this. How about because I was thinking about granting it to this man here, but he doesn't like me at all either, my sister's husband. So maybe I will give it to Count Dan then. See if this will... Because he is a great commander, and he led my forces in the deciding battle up in the mountains here. To victory. It was really an even fight, and he was commanding this, so he is deserving of these lands, and it is the same duchy as he already holds lands in, so this would be good. Grant title Alcanis. There you go. Now he likes me much better. This is great, and I am now 1 holding above the main limit, so it is this land here. Do I have any knights deserving of this? No, not really. And do I have any relations? I am friends with Count Miro and Count Gunnar, but they already hold lands, and it would mess things up if further down the line if I gave them this land, I think. So any relatives then? I have my sisters. My father, he had some siblings, but none of them are alive. He is a distant cousin. Yeah, I'll probably just give it to my cousin. There might be some better choices. But he has claims, unpressed claims on all my lands, but his children won't inherit this, and that way our house can have control of this Castellon here. I looked around to see if there were... I really spent some time looking around, but so it's not my... But yeah, let's not dwell on this too much. Let's demand his conversion. Yeah, if he converts, I will give him land. How's that for a deal? And my nephew here accepted to convert and letting me have a hook on him. So he's now free and my vassal. Let's hope he won't get up to stupid stuff. What's this? I seem to remember that my crown authority was higher. It says here that I cannot raise this authority. Where's my culture? Here it is. I am the culture head and I am fascinated by city planning. Oh, this is good. Visigothic codes. Can I enact a high partition succession law? An equal gender law? This is useful. Also maritime mercantilism is good. And there's refined poetry, I like this. Parochialism for city holdings, that's also good. We are trying to have a tall game here. And then there's ritualized friendship. Well, it's a decent culture, and we are fascinated by city planning. I like that. I need high crown authority though to enact this high petition. But I thought it said here that I should be able to enact high partition anyway. But apparently not. Apparently I need... maybe high partition is something you need to learn. An innovation you need to learn. And we will not need to learn this with Visigothic codes. But we need this limited crown authority. And I need plenary assemblies innovation to enact this. But I'm almost done with city planning, and I want to start to build cities as soon as I can. So let's finish this and then look into this plenary assemblies. Now here he converted, so now I will grant him this county here. Great, he is now my vassal. Right, so we are much stronger now. And we can also start to look into doing some stuff with our rivals of House Banu Musa in Nevada now, because now we border them. We can definitely use this to our benefit, I hope, and we're not far away from being able to create the Kingdom of Aragon now. Let's have this so we can declare cheaper wars. Right, so a successful episode, and if you want to encourage me to keep on doing my roleplay and storytelling stuff for YouTube, consider subscribing. This encourages me to continue with this. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.